Good morning and welcome to Enterprise Morning right here on Enterprise Television, your daily dose of news analysis and insights. We're here to break down the headlines, explore the stories that matter, and keep you very informed and up to date. Now, let's get started. And we would please join you to please belong to our tribe, be part of our community, have a say in what we say by following also all our social media platforms at Enterprise TV 7 and also subscribe and visit our website at www.enterprisetvnews.com. I am Henry Igwibike.
And I'm Choma Okohe.
All right, we have in the studios together with us Barrister Vance Ofeli, a barrister at law and a public affairs analyst. Good morning to you, Barrister.
Good morning, Barrister.
All right, yeah. So without much, let's kick off our newspaper headlines today with our first story. What do we have, Choma?
Yes, good morning, Harry. Let's get into the big
You're
story.
looking stony.
Thank you. Thank you. Okay, moving on. Peter Obi, presidential candidate of the Labour Party in the 2023 election, says his well-wishers should redirect funds and gifts meant for his birthday to schools, hospitals, and care homes. And he made a very striking statement. And he said, "Let us present ourselves," I quote him, Peter Obi, "as political leaders to God, so that he may touch our hearts to make sacrifices, utilize public resources for the greater good, and prioritize the needs of the people, poor and marginalized," he wrote. Now, over to you, Barrister Ofeli. Let me start with this. Should our leaders always tell us, the citizens, to pray for them so that they can be able to utilize the resources, public resources, for the good of the people? Why were they elected if they still want we to pray for them to do the right thing?
Well, the Holy Writ says that you should pray for your leaders.
True.
He didn't say you should pray for them so that they'll come and they'll come and deliver the dividends of democracy. Or that it is when you pray for them that they will understand what it is to lead. He says pray for them. That is all. So, it is an injunction for those who believe in that direction for you to pray for your leaders. But ultimately, sometimes we should also call on those we are praying for and ask them whether the prayers we are praying for them is working in their head or whether it does make any difference whether you pray for them or not. Because the Nigerian case appears to be like one that the leaders are not compassionate. One of the quality of leadership is compassion. And once it is lacking in the leaders, the people will suffer. There's no way you're going to go, whether they are Christians or Muslims. As long as they don't have compassion at all. Someone who works in the National Assembly told me recently that I should never think or believe that our representatives are thinking about us. That none of them is thinking about anybody outside that place. They're just about themselves, their children. When he was saying that, I said, we know that already. Perhaps it's a reconfirmation. Okay, so what Peter Obi is trying to say is that politicians, leaders in this country should, sacrifice for the people. Now he's saying what people intend to give him, they should redirect it to schools and all that, and things like that. I would rather that he collects them and take them to the schools. Because asking people to redirect it to school might mean they might not do anything. There are people who want to give to him genuinely. Okay, so he should have maybe set up a small committee to help him receive those things, and then those things are taken. Because when he said those who want to give me, go and give to, they will not go anywhere. They will not go anywhere. So, if truly he intends that people who need those things more than him should have it, he should have some people collect it on his behalf and direct it to those people. That's the only way this can make impact. Otherwise, this will just be another political statement that's not going anywhere.
All right. There's no gainsaying, Barrister, that Peter Obi has garnered for himself enough emotional clout. Is this another play into the gallery?
Well, the intent of a man, you cannot reveal. There's a way Shakespeare put it. I can't really remember exactly now, but there's no construction in the face, as I say, to determine the heart of a man or something. I can't really put it correctly. Well, I for one, I know that Peter Obi's meant well for the country. I know that. Apart from politics, which is difficult to define, okay, he meant well for the country as a person, and he has demonstrated that, even while he was not vying for any position. We've seen him go to places where your conventional politicians will not go to. Okay, so lend a helping hand on situations across the country and all that. We've seen him, commiserate with people who had issues, much more than even your clergymen. One of the prominent clergymen in the country was dragged on Twitter last week because Trump was shot at the ear, and he came to the congregation and was, full of empathy, sorry, so downcast, and making utterances. A day before that day, school collapsed in Jos. He didn't make any statement. Maybe because the school does not belong to Trump. Or maybe the school is not in the US. And some people who were mining granite, were using a dynamite that affected the foundation of the school. And that school collapsed. And that school actually collapsed in a place where I know very well. I even know the school. I have a graphic picture in my mind about the school by the roadside, by, the Busabuji area of Jos. So, issues like that, you can easily say that this one is this one political or what? But we've seen Peter Obi, look inward on several occasions and have, extended. Each time you have issues like this, he'll send a tweet. Sometimes he will go there, and all that. So he's a man that means well for the country. But politics is a different thing entirely.
Exactly.
So
yeah, because of course we've seen our past president Buhari equally do the same prior to him getting into power. At some point, he was flying a commercial, and people thought, hey, we are going to have an awesome, president. But 8 years down the line, the story was actually different. But let's move on to Anes Delhi, and this coming from the Daily Times newspaper. The big story here says Obaseki kicks as a court reinstates Shaibu as Edo deputy governor, and the writer there says Edo government assemble head to appeal court.
Okay, moving on the top strip of the Daily Times newspaper, Imo Assembly recommends sack of CG over alleged age falsification. Details are on page 6.
And also on the top strip of the same newspaper, parliamentary coup, the Senate sacks Ndume as a majority whip appoints Mongono.
Okay, bottom strip still on the Daily Times newspaper. Tinubu to Africa's ministers of solid minerals. Defend Africa, extend sustainable upliftment to our people. Just a rider to that particular story. Others, Solid Minerals Ministry to issue mining license only if it adds value locally.
And also we have an interesting one here. Nobody can stop 8 years of Tinubu. That's coming from the Minister of Works, Umahi. But Barrister, let's take a look at one of the very interesting story we have here. Parliamentary coup, Senate sacks Ndume as majority whip appoints Mongono. I think it went viral on different traditional media and also the new media also when Ndume called the current government, the government of kakistocrats and kleptocrats. A very, very harsh word. You would agree with me. Do you abide with that submission?
yes, what he said was a lie. I mean,
Because when you take the meaning, a kleptocrat means a leader that consciously steals, uses his position to steal. It looks
from the word kleptomania.
Yeah.
Yes, I understand. He made that statement. It was inflammatory, given that he's a leader, okay, and he has a lot of followers, and his words ordinarily can even incite people against the leader, okay? Now, for one who is also a senator, to speak that way without proof, it's not lying. You understand? But at the level of trust, at that level, you can just quickly summarize his thought to mean that this is someone declaring war against the president. Okay, that is so clear. And I don't think that was enough offense in blood and in water that should warrant that you pull him out of his position in the House. Perhaps you would have subjected the same error they made in your first guy they suspended. You know, somebody have made such kind of allegation because you don't want the truth to be seen anywhere. Otherwise, you would have called for investigation of those things. You said this, and this. Give us a link. Perhaps we don't know our problem. We don't know where our problem is coming from. You have this privileged information. Then you know, let's see into it. If you are in a very organized environment, they will probe him to the effect of that statement to get more from him so that you can. But here, nobody's ready to solve anybody's problem. Former governor of Rivers State, Rotimi Amaechi, said in a function not too long ago, he said, has any politician told you in Nigeria that he has results? He went to school. Has anyone told you that? Has anyone told you, any politician told you that he's not a thief? Have they told you anything like that? He said, well, all these things that I just said. That's what he said. But even if we steal and bring it to show you, see your money, you will still be indolent. You will not do anything about it. He said it. He said it before too. That the reason they do what they do is because Nigerians don't stone them. He said he keeps saying it. He knows how predictable we are. Okay, this is whistle blowing now. You don't blow a whistle. Okay, but now we have turned it around because this Senate is the Senate of President Tinubu. This Senate is the Senate of President Tinubu. They have sent an amendment bill, an appropriation bill now to that house. Yeah. And they are considering it already. They will pass it. So if you have a Senate that I can run to in the night and tell them that, see, I've noticed this and this and that, and during the day, they will now tell the whole world that they've stripped me of my portfolio because I came in the night to whistle to them that somebody is doing something. By the way, if Ndume goes to court on this issue, Ndume will win. You know why?
Yeah.
No, there's what we call legislative privilege. Any expression, by law, any expression you make in the floor of the house, nobody can use it against you.
Okay, thank you.
Understand? They know, but they are taking that decision for him to go to court. The court will reinstate him. Legislative privilege is check it online, you will see it's constitutional. We cannot be deliberating and make statements. After the statement, you now come outside and start to hold me to say, under defamation, it's one of the defense. Defamation, yeah, it's one of the defense. Because you guys are deliberating in parliament. So whatever anybody says there cannot be used against him in the outer space or anywhere.
Unfortunately, that wasn't made in the city. It was made to a news house. So
well, it was not made in parliament. It was made. Okay, I got that.
Okay, thank you, Barrister Faye. Now let's move on. Imo Assembly recommends sack of CJ over alleged age falsification. Looking at our country and knowing the position of a CJ, when this is coming from a CJ at this point, Nigerians ask, what is the hope of the citizens? When those who are supposed to give final judgment and their hands are not clean at this point, what do we do?
The citizens have no hope since now. You are not aware. They don't have any hope. People are running away from poverty. That's what the CGN is doing now. It's falsifying age to run away from. He wants to perpetuate himself to get more resources, to get more funds and all that. Okay, so that he will remain there for as long as possible. The fear of the unknown people go to falsify their age, you know, and that is really, really, it tells you that no matter how long you work in this country, the future is not secured. Now, what it is, because it will be looking at their own pensioners, you'll be thinking about how the children will complete school if they are not yet done, and how it's going to feed them, how it's going to do all that. That's not an excuse. That's not an excuse. You take an oath of office when you get into that office, and it's for a duration of time, not until you die. It's for a duration of time, and that duration, you must sit that office once that and to say that is happening in the judiciary. If it should be elsewhere, you can now begin to say that's how they do that. But inside the judiciary, that's when you now have that. Then it tells you that this thing you talk about hope. This thing you talk about hope is not. Nigerians are hoping against hope, and that's the most dangerous thing you can do. Because hope is not a strategy. It's very dangerous.
Very true. All right, so finally, let's move on to our last daily for today. It's coming from the Punch newspaper. And the big story here says IOCs are still causing crude supply crisis down the refinery cries out. The right there says IOCs are referring us to international trading and for crude purchases and Dangote refinery. And firms are still pushing for dollar payment, says Quran. Slaves middlemen for hijacking supply.
That's true. Moving on to the top strip. And on the top strip, you find PDP governors ask federal government to fast track minimum wage talks.
All right. On the bottom, we have North tops applicants list as federal government disburses student loan.
Okay, UI students protest 10-hour electricity rationing tuition hike.
Barrister Francis, I would love you to maybe start off with not, a topping list of applicants for the federal government disbursement student loan. Does that is that giving us a painting to what Nigerians might be suspecting for a very long time?
The suspicion is not even a suspicion; it's a reality. One of the DSS is it training now or entry level DSS? I joined to apply, more like a cruise. I applied. I wanted to see how this thing works. I don't need that job. I applied. So went to Asaba. So you have to go to your state to do the training, to do the exams. I wrote the exams. And 1 week after I returned to Lagos, they sent me a text message. According to them, once they send you a text message, you actually pass. Others, they will not just bother. They sent a text message. I made it. So I got there for the oral test. Now, when we line up, and in fact, in my local government, I was the first on the list, number one on the list in my local government. So then I went for the oral test. They asked me for my certificate, my NYSC, all the credentials, everything, and all that. Look at the age bracket, everything was perfect. So after I submitted all that, then I said they will get back to me the same way again. So 2 weeks later, I sent a message that I passed through. I should get set for the training that will commence on the training were to go to Kaduna, or I can't remember again, either Kaduna or somewhere. I received it. It's okay, fine. Now, but they said whilst we prepare for the training, we should check the lists that they will publish in their website. Remember, I have already been told that
Yeah, it's still true.
Yeah. So when the list came out, I went to check that, and my name is not there.
Whoa.
I said, ooh, this will not disappoint me. Exactly, that's what I expected, and that's what they did. So go to the EFCC, go to the Apapa seaport, go to immigration, custom, everywhere. Well, this is not for deliberation. Not for deliberation. Okay, so they cannot say that you have more people there. That's right. There's disparity, serious disparity happens in every, especially if it has to do with public service. You understand? You won't see them when it has to do with private that needs serious competition and merit, where it is your intellection that is counting, not your name or the way your name is and all that. No, you will see that you will not see any of them.
At this point, we have to ask why is this becoming a norm? And what is special, or what is it about the North that makes them get this privilege?
It's becoming a norm because nobody's challenging the status quo. That's one. Two, it is easy to get into the civil service when you don't really need to apply merit and just go in there and perpetuate yourself there. Also, people also move towards that direction because not many of them even go to work. They just sign up, get the appointment, go to work maybe the first year, and the second year they turn it to some. You wake up by 1 o'clock. You are in the civil service, you wake up by 1 o'clock and all that. So we've seen that all the time. I mean, I schooled there, so I know what I'm saying. And they too know. As I'm saying it now, they are aware. So it's not one thing we want to come and paint any or to come and make comments here that is not the way I'm saying it. That is how it is. That's what is going on. So until people ask for social justice, economic equality, things will remain the way they are. They will remain the way they are as long as that. Now, in that DSS issue I talked about, it was supposed to be two per local government. You understand? And that list I saw, when I didn't see my name, the 2 of us are supposed to go in from Delta North. No, not even though they don't use local government, they use senatorial districts. Okay. The 2 of us are supposed to go in from Delta North. Those 2 names were substituted. So nobody went in from Delta North. And people kept quiet, including me. So.
Thank you, Barrister Philly. In 60 seconds, if the top applicants that would make it to the list are coming from the North, at this point we'll ask the right children or the right students that need this student loan, will they get it?
So you did analysis yesterday talking about Unity School. Somebody scored 1. There are 8 of them, I mean. That's scored 1.
13.
13 of them.
Yes.
13 of them scored 1. You understand? So the question I asked me like is what I forgot it.
Now, the right student that need this student loan, they get the money.
The student loan, right?
Yes.
You know, this is the first time we're doing that.
Yes.
Before now, it's bursary, which is state sensitive. That one is state. This one is a federal government intervention. You understand? Well, they have promised that they will get the loan, and those who have been shortlisted, those who have been. Maybe we have to also be objective on this issue. Maybe the Northerners applied more too. It's not everybody that need that loan. You understand? Maybe there was not, it's just that they applied more. And of course, if they applied more, you have a short list of them more. You understand? I don't want to agree or just believe that somebody is somewhere manipulating it to ensure that only them. If they apply, the Southerners need, largely, not every Southerner need that loan. You understand? So, whichever way it is, what I still said is the truth of in other areas. If it does not apply to this loan, I have evidence of how it applies to many public service and all that. So I know about that very well.
All right, I just sincerely hope that this is not some form of economic largesse, to appeal to the northern part of Nigeria, hopefully for 2027. But let's just hope and see what happened in the developing story.
Yeah, we hope to see. And once a very big thank you to Barrister Philly for joining us this morning.
My pleasure.
You. And when we return, Tinubu 6 additional 6.2 trillion naira to be inserted into 2024 budget. Stay with us.